Hey guys, so when I first started posting my Halloween faces, I got a lot of requests for YouTube videos, so here's my first one. Hope you enjoy. So first I'm just going to put some glue on my eyebrows. There's a way more professional way to do this, but I am just trying to tack them down a little bit so that I can paint over them easier. So the first step is to just kind of trace out the design that you want. I'm going to put some basic lines for guidelines to fill in, that way I know about where I'm going. I'm going to put some eyebrows and a big mouth, and that way I know where I'm filling the white around and where to leave blank. All of the paint that I'm using is FAB body paint. I love it because it's water activated, so it's easy to use, but it never dries out, so you don't have to worry about that. And it also never ruins your brushes. You can leave it in your brush and wash it out whenever you get a chance. It'll never dry up like acrylic paint, like I'm used to painting for my regular paints. So it's really easy to use. It comes off with soap and water, and I get it from sillyfarm.com. They ship super fast and have a very large supportive community for face painting, especially for like child's face painting, but they have supplies for all sorts of things, so go check them out. So after I've got a nice base of my white down, I'll come back in later to make it even more opaque, but it's good for now. I'm going to start filling in the red, getting my big blocks of color in, that way I can do details and shading on top. You want to get all of your blocks of color first. So I'm filling in the eyes. I'm going to block out the lips in red. And all of my brushes are just regular painting brushes. People have asked me before, you don't need special brushes. These are just like synthetic hair brushes. I really prefer the plastic ones with the rubber grips, because after sitting them in water for a while, the ones that are made of wood, the paint chips off, which I still use, but I definitely prefer these plastic ones. They hold up a lot better, but you can just find them at Michael's. I love Michael's. They have great deals. They're just regular paint brushes. So as you can see, I'm just putting a more solid coat of white, filling in the red. I had filled in a red nose, and now I'm starting to put a few details. So I'm going to start putting some holes, because this is going to be like a sewn on mask kind of. So first I'm placing red, and then I put little dots of black on top. The red is obviously kind of more like blood. The black is the hole. You want it to get deeper. So then I start taking my liner brush, it's just a skinny brush, and my black, and I'm gonna just start kind of outlining. Here I'm putting some on the smile lines, kind of defining the face. So here you see I'm using one of the Beauty Blender sponges. I actually found a 2-pack of mini ones at Walmart, which they were super cheap, and it's nice to just have these because they're smaller. They're not, going to be using a big area. You can kind of smudge little areas, which is nice. I'm also just going to be outlining the eyes, the lips, the nose. Get all of your black outlining in where you want. So here I'm going to start blocking out the mouth, filling in the black. I'm going to be putting where the teeth are going to be separated, and I'm actually going to make the line below the lips. That's where my teeth are going to separate. That's what gives it that big mouth that couldn't possibly be on my face, but it gives it the illusion. So I'm going to block out the white teeth first. You always want to do this, because if you try to fill it in black and then put your white on top, it's going to mix and get muddy. So you can do it a little bit, but it's not going to be clean white. So it's best to block out the white first and then come back in and fill the black. So now I'm just going back in with the black and going in between each tooth, kind of defining the shape, cleaning it up. I'm going to have to define them a little bit more later, but just kind of getting in the basic shapes. So now I'm just going to be outlining the mask, getting a rough edge because I want it to look kind of jaggedy. I don't want it to be smooth. I'm going to put some pieces like it's overlapping all the way around the face. Doesn't have to be perfect. Around the nose, filling it in. Sometimes the messier the better for certain looks. So don't always worry about being so perfect. You can always fix things later, but sometimes, especially when you're going for the creepy looks, sometimes the messy stuff is what makes it look really good. Adding a few more holes, details. I'm going to fill in some black under the nose. So I'm going to be blending again with that blender, just kind of creating some shadows. Like if this was a mask, there'd be shadows underneath the mask, so where my nose and where my eyes are. So I'm filling in some black and smudging it, blending it out. I'm going to make it dark later, but I'm just putting in some basic shading with my paint still. Now I'm going to put some highlights on the lips. I'm going to come back with red, but sometimes it's nice if you put a highlight and then you put the red on top. It makes that more vibrant red color, makes it pop again. So I'm just doing that to the whole lip area. I put the highlight and then I put the red back on top. Maybe putting some red dots on my face where it's sewn into my actual skin. Same thing, red and then black. And now I'm going to go with the white, and I'm just putting lines across from one dot to another, kind of just deciding where I want the laces to go. They're not perfect, they're kind of all over the place, just a messy sew job, nothing perfect. And you can see these lines aren't perfect, they're not the same. I'm going to go back with black and just kind of give them each a shadow and cross over certain ones so that they look like they're overlapping each other. Now I'm just filling in some gross color on the teeth, making them not so white, making them kind of nasty. I'm going to go back with white in a little bit and clean them up. I'm putting some pink gum lines. You definitely, on the bottom, you want to be able to see the gum. So I'm going in with a pink, and then I'm going to touch them with some red, dirty them up a little bit. I put a dot on my nose and my eye. I went back later at the end. You don't see it on the video, but on the pictures you can see there's glitter. So I just left that on there, and then I put glitter on my nose and my eyes because even scary clowns want to look pretty, right? So you can use eyeliner. This is eyeliner instead of the brush. It just makes it easier sometimes to use liquid eyeliner for like around your eyes. So now I'm using a regular makeup brush, like a powder brush, and I'm using a regular black, just a flat black, not a shimmery black, a flat black eyeshadow. I believe mine is Maybelline, but you can get any black eyeshadow. It's really great for just going back in over your base of paint and adding shadows. It's smooth and soft, and it just creates these nice soft shadows. So I'm going under the eyes again, around the eyes, under where those layers of the mask, on the edges of the teeth, anywhere where I want you still to be able to see the paint, but it to just darken up a little bit and have like a little bit of a shadow. I'm using a bigger brush now to do bigger shadows, kind of like on my underneath my cheekbones, just to kind of define the shapes of my face. I'm going underneath the lips, like where the cheeks go, so it kind of sinks down and the cheeks stand out. Just real messy, nothing perfect. Just filling in some black. It really just helps that like fall back, and the bright spots will like stand out now. I'm gonna go around the eyes, make myself look a little more grumpy and mean. Shading turns everything way more awesome. It's the magic. That's what we call the magic, is the highlights and shading at the end. So now I'm just gonna start blocking out the like ropes around my neck. Obviously you can see that I made a skinnier neck just for the illusion, and I'm gonna put these red strings around them. Nothing perfect. And then I'm gonna start filling in black. You know it's serious when the jacket comes off. Okay, so now I'm filling in black on my neck, around the neck. This is what's going to give you the illusion of the skinny neck. So if you're on a black backdrop, or like on Halloween if you're walking around at nighttime, they would just see the light. They're not going to see the dark, but it's really cool for photos. You just need a black backdrop, and anything that's black is going to just blend in with the background, and you're only going to see the light colors. So you just want to fill that in and get rid of all of the skin right there so that your real neck disappears and you're just looking at the paint. Obviously, I didn't fill it in all the way, but I'm going to go back later. I'm going to get that makeup brush out again and start doing some shading on the neck, shading around, kind of making the neck pop out like the rope is constricting the neck and the skin of the neck is popping out. So I go back with some white to kind of define the bulges, make those shapes better. We're just filling it in. And that's the great thing, is you can come back with white and the paint and then shade again, or whatever you got to do. If you mess up, don't worry about it. You can just paint it out. It's no big deal. I'm going to put some highlights on the rope. Just some simple white on top. Not on every spot, but you just want it on top. So now I'm using just a scraggly brush that I have, and you want to mix some water and your paint and get it real soupy on the brush, and then you're just gonna splatter. You're just gonna flick it towards your face and splatter it. So it just kind of gives that splattered look effect, makes it more messy. It's really fun to do. That's what I do for stars, and so it's really fun. You just splatter wherever you want. And then I'm putting blood drips on with the smaller brush. So I always just mix my red and my black, because blood obviously usually isn't like a bright color. Sometimes it is, but if it's dried at all, it would be darker. So I just mix the black and the red, and that's how you get that darker blood color. You can always go back with a brighter red if you want on certain places, like more fresh blood, and you can add it. But I'm just like picking some spots that I want some blood to look like it's dripping from. So this is the final look. I finished the neck with the black and then put a bow to just give it a more finished look on the bottom, and then put a top hat on, glitter on the nose and the eyes, and that was it. Thanks so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe for more videos, comment below looks that you would like to see me do, and have a happy October, everyone.